feel like the golden age of VTubers is over, though I am happy I was there for the good times. I think you're just dooming. Your last 3 messages just sound like dooming, and I don't think it's that bad. I think a lot of people are dooming, though. It's not just you. Not in this chat, but I mean in general. Like on Twitter, I keep seeing people dooming, and they're like, oh my god, VTubing the good times, and they're looking back at the good times. Thing is, there have always been really bad times littered throughout these good times. I think it's just like, in hindsight, it's very easy to bury a lot of that, you know, to remember a couple of the big things and everything else gets buried. Yeah, rose-tinted goggles for sure. Put the glasses on. I don't know if you guys remember, I was a VTuber. I was on Twitter and I was existing in social circles, whatever, in like 2020. And then I was streaming in early 2021. Around that time, I remember especially for that first year, a lot of the female VTubers on Twitter were constantly posting about how much they hate men, they hate male VTubers, and male VTubers are never gonna make it. And they were like crazy mean toward like every male in existence. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember them being like that, like a lot of them. And it was just like a trend. It was like funny to post like that to them. And it was because no male VTubers in the EN space had popped off yet. And I was like, whoa. I was like, I get the jokes here and there, but like, they were really like doing it too much, right? Like any joke can be funny in a little amount, but when it's a lot, like, all right, it doesn't feel like a joke anymore, you know? And, you know, it's very toxic. And a lot of like male VTubers genuinely were just like despairing and having a bad time because they were like, I don't feel like I belong here. I remember how bad it was for them, right? And then like Niji had their male group, right? They had Luxium that they showed off and they popped off. And then like all those people like quieted down. And I was like, you guys are so annoying. And the worst was some of those people were like replying to some of them being like, I always knew you'd make it. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Because even if you were nice to them individually, your posts that you would make all the time that were like anti-man made them feel bad, you know?
Keep tubing. Move along Vtubing tourists.
True.
You'll never be a real Vtuber and or fan of Vtubers.
Yeah. No, they were like that at the time though. They were. So like, I don't know, when people are like, oh, the good times, I'm like, yeah, but there was always like shit going on that was also like, So I don't think we're in a good or bad time. I think we're actually in the best time right now, which I know some people will be like, oh my God, but everything exploded last year or whatever. I think we're in a really good time because we're in this acceptance phase where people they've had the wool pulled over their eyes for a while and now they're being more realistic, right? And I think a lot of people are waking up a little to doing what they want to actually do, realizing that there aren't too many metas that they have to follow. They can just create and have a good time with it. And if it works, it works. People are taking a little more ownership over their brands and their business. You know what I mean? And so I feel like it's actually gotten really good the past year. A lot more VTubers I feel like they're just relaxing a bit. Like you still see people doing about time-lipping on conversations on Twitter on the same shit over and over, whatever. But overall, I feel like a lot of them have relaxed and feel more in control, you know? I think a lot of like the really toxic shit from back in the day is gone. So I'm glad. Like the fact the very toxic agency got dismantled was like a major positive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that could have been going on even now and people wouldn't know how bad it is. And I understand like it's nice when you can just be oblivious and be like, yay, everything's fun. But it's much better for that stuff to be exposed, those companies or those people to go away, and then people to just move on and do things like in a good environment, you know? And it's not just that scenario, not just like one agency, just in general. I feel like a lot of that has happened. One thing that's good is I'm feeling like with every cancellation that happens, people are more and more skeptical. They still jump immediately onto canceling people, but like there's more skepticism of people being like, let me wait for the so-and-so statement, you know, or this could have stayed in DMs, right? There's like more of that, you know, the reasonable every time. So I'm just like, well, you know, it'll keep going up slowly, right? So I don't know. I actually feel like we're in a really good time right now. It may not feel like it because, you know, reality is more apparent, I guess. But, you know, I think we're doing all right. I think we're doing okay.